We're now working on Trig Review Test 3, Problem 21, Verify the Identity. We want to prove that sine of x plus cosine of x squared equals 1 plus sine of 2x. We know that we can write this out. Any binomial, you write it 2 times if you want to square it. So sine of x plus cosine of x times sine of x plus cosine of x, multiply by FOIL method, you get sine squared of x plus sine of x cosine of x plus sine of x cosine of x again plus cosine squared of x. We now have sine squared plus cosine squared plus, these have the same sign, so it's 2 sine of x cosine of x. Notice that we are trying to prove that this expression that is just in terms of x can be rewritten as sine of 2x, of 1 plus sine of 2x. So let's see what we've got so far. We know sine squared plus cosine squared is 1. Look at your identity sheet. By now you ought to be really familiar with this and know that sine of 2x is 2 sine of x cosine of x. So we now have 1 plus sine of 2x, and we've done what they've asked us to do, because this 2 sine of x cosine of x is the same as sine of 2x, and this sine squared plus cosine squared is the same as 1. Number 22. I want to prove that 1 plus the cosine of 2x over the sine of 2x equals the cotangent of x. Notice on the left side that I have these expressions in terms of double angles, and on the right side I'm wanting to write that as just cotangent of just x, not double angle. So let's see what we can do. We're going to make some substitutions. We're going to look at those double angle formulas. You know that cosine of 2x can be written in several different ways, in 3 different forms. I'm going to look at that and kind of say, hey, I could do it this way, or this way. What way is going to help me the most? Because I'm just kind of playing around here and seeing which one. I mean, you might start with one and it won't work, and you try another one and you try another one. But since I know what's going to work, I'm going to start with 1 plus. I'm going to substitute 1 minus 2 sine squared of x here. This replaces cosine of 2x. You had 3 choices for that. You could have put either of those other 2 and tried it. The denominator, sine of 2x, we know now is 2 sine of x cosine of x. Now let's see what we got. In the numerator we have 1 plus 1, which is 2, minus 2 sine squared of x. In the denominator we've got 2 sine of x cosine of x. We can factor out a 2 out of that numerator, which will give us 2 times 1 minus sine squared of x. That 2 that we factored out of the numerator can cancel out with this 2 that's down here in the denominator. 1 minus sine squared of x by a Pythagorean identity can be rewritten as cosine squared of x. So I now have cosine squared of x over sine of x cosine of x. I factored out a 2 right here. I had 2 times 1 minus sine squared. That 2 that I factored out canceled out with that 2 that was in the denominator. 1 minus sine squared is the same as cosine squared. Now, look what happens. This cosine in the denominator cancels with one of these cosines in the numerator. I have cosine of x over sine of x. And guess what? That is the same as cotangent of x. And I did what they asked me to do.